Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw McCree from Overwatch. I'm going to get started in the center of my page with the eyelids. So let's start on the left side. I'm going to draw a slight curve that comes down and then in. I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. So let's leave a gap in the center. Start from the inside, curve up, and then out. From here I just want to curve up the inner frown line. So on the left side we're just going to curve it up. Do the same thing on the right side. Now let's thicken up the upper eyebrow. From the end, I just want to curve up and then just pull that in towards the inside of the frown line. And then we'll do the same thing on the right. In between the eyebrows, I just want to draw a little curve from left to right, leaving a little space on either side. Now we're going to tuck the eyes in underneath the eyebrows. So it's basically a half circle. Starting on the left, we're going to step in, curve down towards the bottom. Now I'm going to pull that up towards the inside of the eye. We'll do the same thing on the right. Now going back to the left side, I'm going to draw a small circle for a highlight. Starting right underneath the eyebrow, curve around. Now I want to line this up on the right side, so making sure that the bottoms line up. We'll start underneath the eyebrow, curving down, and then back up. In the center of the eye, I'm going to locate the pupil, so it's a smaller circle tucked in underneath the highlight. And we'll fill that all in black. Do the same thing on the right side, underneath the highlight, and then we'll fill that in black. Now on the inside edge of the eye, I want to give him a little bit of an eye bag. Starting on the left, we'll curve down and then out. Do the same thing on the right side. Then in between the eyes, just down here, we're going to locate the nose. So we're going to start with a little U shape. Starting on the left, we'll curve down and then back up. On the left side, we're going to step down and just curve around the nostril. Do the same on the right side. And then just above the nose, I'm going to draw a little curve just for the top of the nose. Now we're going to move down below the nose and draw in the mouth. So a curve from left to right, over and then down. At the ends of the mouth, I'm just going to draw a little tiny bracket. And then just below the mouth, I'm going to locate the lower lip. So just a curve going in the opposite direction. From here, let's move back up and draw on the brim of the hat. So it's a big curve from left to right. It's going to curve down and just touch the top of the eyebrows. So let's start on the left side. We're going to curve down towards the eyebrow. We go across. Now as we come up towards the right, I'm going to add a little notch. So right here, we draw almost like an upside down V. Then we'll continue that curve up. From the ends of the hat, we're going to curve them up and then in. And then we're going to connect those 2 points with a curve for the edge of the hat. From these 2 points, I want to draw 2 straight lines going up, just for the band. Now before I connect this, I want to draw the little badge in the center here. So we're going to step up, draw a straight line going across the middle. From the left side, I'm going to go down and curve out towards the left. And then we'll do the same thing on the right. We take these ends and curve down towards the center, just on top of the brim. Now let's add a little bit of detail to the badge. From the center, I'm just going to draw a point. From this point, I'm going to curve up and out towards the left, up and out towards the right. Go back to the center, I'm just going to taper this out towards the sides with a curve. Now in behind this, I want to draw a circle. Starting on the left side, go to the right, and we'll close off the top. Now on the sides of the badge, I'm going to add 2 large bullets. So on the left, I'm going to draw 2 straight lines coming down. I'm going to draw one more actually. And then we'll connect the tops with a half circle. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So 3 straight lines. And we'll close off the top with a curve. Now we can connect the top of these lines for the band that goes across the hat. Starting on the left, we're going to go in behind the bullets, and then in behind the badge. And we'll continue up on the right side. From the top corners of the band, we're going to step in slightly and just curve up towards the side of the hat. So on the left, we're going to step in, curve up and in, on both sides to the same height. Now from here, we're going to do a hard turn, curving up to a point at the top of the hat, right in the middle. Now from here, we're going to tuck the hair on the sides underneath the hat, just beside the eyes. So let's start on the left side, just beside the eyebrow, and curve down and then out. Let's do the same thing on the right, curving down and then out. Now we're just going to add some points to the hair. Going back to the left side, I'm going to taper it up, and we're going to curve it out again, and again, tapering it up. Now from here, I'm going to curve in the opposite direction, curving down. Now we're going to pull that in underneath the hat. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Tapering up, we'll hook it out, going back up. Now here we're going to turn in the opposite direction, and we'll curve it up and underneath the hat. Now before I draw in the rest of the face, I'm going to draw the overlapping poncho on top of the chin. So from left to right, I'll curve just underneath the lip, and then over towards the right side. Now from here, I just want to draw a little wrinkle in the poncho. From here, I'm going to curve down, and then across towards the middle. We do the same thing from the right. We curve down with a shorter line going across. Now we're going to step in and then draw the bottom fold of the poncho. So stepping in from the left, we'll curve down in the middle. Now I'm going to pull this up on the right side. Now let's go in and add in the beard. So we're just going to draw a curve going around the corners of the mouth, going up. We're going to hook these back down, just tapering it down with a short curve. And then we're going to curve it back up with a longer line, going up. Now we're going to pull this in behind the edge of the poncho. Now from the bottom lip, on the left side, I'm going to step in, curve down and out toward the left, and then down and out towards the right. I want to add a few little whiskers along the top lip here. So on the left side, I'm going to draw two lines, do the same thing on the right. Now in the gap between the poncho and the hair, I want to add some more hairs coming out for the sideburns. So right under here, I'm going to curve out, pull that back in with a short curve. We'll draw one more curving down and then in towards the corner of that poncho. Do the same thing on the right, curving out, in. Now I'm going to fill that gap with a hair coming down. Now from the side of the head, we're going to curve down in behind the poncho, but along the way, I just want to add one more hair spike. So underneath the hair, we're going to curve down and in to right about there. I'm going to hook it back up. Now I'm going to curve down, aiming towards that corner of the beard. Do the same thing on the right. Curving down and in. I'm going to add one spike going up. Curve down towards the bottom corner of the beard. Now with the body, I'm going to have the arm on the left holding a cigar, but the arm on the right is going to get covered with the poncho. So let's start in the middle, right down here. We're going to curve down and out towards the right, to the bottom of the poncho. From here, I'm going to curve up to the side of the arm. So we're going to curve, but along the way, I want to add a little notch, a little upside down V. We're going to continue that curve going up. Now from here, this is going to curve up underneath the neck part of the poncho. So curving up. Let's add a little trim along the side here. So stepping in, I'm just going to follow that same curve, coming down to the bottom, and then we'll go across to the side. Now let's tuck the body in behind the poncho. So in the middle, I'm going to draw a curve from left to right, going up in the center. Then from here, we're going to curve up the side of the chest plate, going up underneath the poncho. Just going to trim this out on the outside. Now from this point, I want to curve down and out towards the hip. And then from here, I'm going to curve down in the middle and then underneath the poncho. On the left side, I'm going to draw a circle and a smaller circle on the inside. We're going to tuck one underneath the poncho, so you're going to see it like half of it on the side there. In the middle, let's add a belt buckle. So in between these circles, I'm going to draw a straight line across the center. It will come down on either side of the straight line. Now let's draw on the top edge of the belt. So from the corner, curve up to the side of the body, do the same thing on the right side. Let's continue working down with the legs. So in the middle here, we're going to step down, draw a curve from left to right, going up in the middle. On the left side, I'm going to step in, curve down and out towards the left, then we'll curve down and out towards the right. Now let's round out the bottom of the feet. So from heel to toe, I'm just going to round it out. Now from the toe, I want to curve up towards the top of the foot. So on the left side, curve up to the top. Now here I'm going to pull it down and then pull it back up as we get towards the inside of the leg. Like that. Let's do the same thing on the right. Starting on the inside, we'll curve up. I'm going to round out the top of the foot and come down towards the toe. We're going to add a little sole. So we're going to step up and just follow that same curve along the bottom of the foot. Now from the left hip, I want to curve out the side of the leg and then down towards the top of the foot. We're going to do the opposite on the right side. So starting from the top of the foot, we'll curve up underneath the poncho. Now about halfway up the leg, we're going to add the edge of the chat. So on the left side, we're going to curve across about halfway. Now from here, I want to curve down and then back in towards the inside of the leg. We're going to do the opposite on the right side. Starting from the inside, we're just going to curve this up underneath the poncho. Let's add a little strap across the hip here. From the corner of the chat, I'm going to curve up and then across. We're going to draw that same line up above it. And then right here, we're going to add some bullets. So just adding some vertical lines going across. You're going to add like maybe 6 lines going across. Let's go back up and draw on the left arm. So this arm is going to be bent holding a cigar. So we're going to start just underneath the poncho on the left side with an angled line coming down and out. We're going to curve the top of the arm over towards the wrist. Now this is going to be the thumb. So we're going to round out the thumb, stepping down, go up, and then just curl it around like that. On the side here, we're going to add the index finger. So it's basically a circle at the end of the thumb. Now we're going to add the cigar at an angle this way. So at the top of the finger and the thumb, we're going to draw 2 lines coming out, and then we'll round out the top. Now we're going to continue these 2 lines coming down. Then we're going to round out the end by connecting the end. And we're going to step up and just curve in the opposite direction. Now let's layer the fingers in behind. So it's basically little ovals in behind the cigar. Starting beside the finger, we're just going to curve once. I'm going to do another curve around the cigar, and we'll pull it up on the opposite side. Now I want to show the opposite side of this finger, so we'll draw another half oval. At the bottom of this finger, I'm going to curve around the palm and then in towards the wrist. So right about there. At the bottom of this palm, curve down and then in. Now from here, I'm going to draw the cuff of the glove going up towards the upper part of the arm. So curving and rounding that out. Now from this point, we're going to step up, curve in behind the body. Let's add a little smoke detail inside here, just above the fingers. Starting from the top, just going to draw a little wave coming down. Now I'm going to connect the top and the bottom with another wave, just going a little bit wider in the center and then tapering to the bottom. I'm going to add a very simple gun and holster on the side of the hip here. So right against the belt, we're going to curve across, and we're going to come down with a short straight line. We're going to move over, draw another short straight line coming across, close off the bottom with a straight line. Now right here, I'm going to draw a little hook going up and then down. We're going to overlap that with a straight line going in towards the leg. And from this line, we're going to curve down towards the bottom of the holster, draw a straight line going in behind the leg. Now let's draw on the back side of the poncho. So behind the arm, I'm just going to curve it down and then out. We're going to curve this back in behind the legs, going in behind the leg, and then in between the legs there. One final thing I'm going to add is the back side of the hat. So from this corner, I'm just going to curve in behind the hair. We're going to do that on both sides. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's McCree from Overwatch. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send me your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.